Well, hello my crafty friends, and welcome to another video by yours truly. And yes, well, you can see I've got some distress inks in front of me here, and I've done some small little samples, but I will do a complete card at the end to show you that it is you can do a full card with this. So it's a technique that I did, well, it's been out for years, and it's quite a nice one. And so I thought I would change it up a little bit and do 3 different mediums to do with this. Let me explain, that'd be easier. So we've got they probably look the same to you, but they are actually 3 different mediums. So what we've done is, or what I've done, is put some in distress ink down, oxides. You can use the normal distress inks if you've got those, and obviously if you haven't got the colors that I've got, you can use other colors. It's not a problem, but it's basically just going through the stencil and producing 3 different effects. As I say, I will do a card at the end, so you can see what it's done, and I have die cut a few bits out as well. So so if you're looking for ideas for a card, then this might be the one. And also the last one I'm going to do slightly different with the stencil, because I've dug out a few bits which I again will explain. And so yeah, so if you do like what you've seen and you do like my videos, please like and subscribe. And if you belong to other groups on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, please copy and paste my YouTube channel to other places that you belong to. If you could do that, that would be absolutely awesome. Thank you very much for doing that. Right, let's crack on. I have done 2 already, so you're not sat there watching me just put some ink down on the card, but I will do the final one and the last one, so any people that are new to all of this, you can get a clear idea of what I'm actually doing and what it's all about. So okay, the colors I've used are crushed olive, twisted citron, and crushed pistachio. Is that crushed? Oh, cracked pistachio. So what we do first is just get some ink down onto our card, and there's no right or wrong way of doing this. It's just a question of just getting ink down onto the card, whatever way you want to do it. So yes, do that, and then just a little bit of the twisted citron, because this is a nice greeny yellowy green color, which is quite nice. And as we're coming into spring now, it's nice just to, and again, if you can, blend it over with the colors that you've already got, so you don't get any white areas, because that's the whole object of putting the ink down first, is just to get rid of all the white areas and just blend it in very nicely and smoothly, and just keep the sponge moving all the time. And I will show you on this one, this final color, which is cracked pistachio. You can, what is best, if you're worried about getting lines, or if you go straight down on the card, you're going to get a blob. Oh, let's do it. And then you can see that's what you're going to get. So that's why I always come in off the card and then onto the cardstock, because I don't get that blob. So that is the reason, if you were wondering why I start off on my craft mat, my non-stick, non-stainable craft mat, which I've had for absolute years. Now that blob, it has kind of worked its way out, so it has kind of disappeared, but it's harder to do with the normal distress inks to get rid of it, but with the oxides I find it is slightly better. If I hold that up, you can see the blob, the blotch there, but it's fine. You're going to get covered anyway, but that's the reason why I always start off and work my way into the card piece. So that's that. So we've got now colour down onto our bits of card. I'm just going to move those out of the way because we don't need those for a while now. And I'm going to get my stencil. I'm going to use this one, which is what I've used on my I'm going to use this stencil, and then on the third one I'm going to switch it and change it. But this is what I did my first 3 samples with, and we're going to use ink pads. Now these are like this, right? So I've got 3 ink pads, and I've got something else over there. So this is an archival multi-surface chalk ink pad, and it's cloud white, and obviously it's by VersaFine, but it's Versa Magic, and it's like an opaque, well, ink pad really. Well, it isn't. So all I'm going to do, I've got a dedicated brush here which I'm going to keep, and I've got my stencil down. Now ideally, if you want to, you can actually take this down so it doesn't move around the card, because we don't want the stencil moving. So I'm just going to go in, pick up some of the ink and just apply it down onto. Now might not do the whole lot, because I mean obviously you just don't want to sit there watching me. Well, you can fast forward it, there is that option, I suppose, but I'm just going to get some of this white ink down onto the cardstock. And as you notice, I haven't bothered drying or the distress oxide. I haven't dried it. I've just gone straight in with my Versa Magic, the chalky based ink pad. So, and what's nice about this is you can still see it just mutes the colour that you've just first put down. So it kind of mutes it, makes it more muted. So you can still see the original colours, but they're less in your face, if that makes sense. So you just keep going all around the stencil. Until you've covered. And also you could actually put a piece of masking tape along the top, so you've got like a hinge if you want to keep moving it up, just to have a look at how you're progressing with this. And I thought I'd do this because it's just another way of using your stencils, which you may not have come across. And again, as I said earlier, if you've not got all the distress colours, use the ones that you've got. And the reason I've gone for the distress ink pads is because they are blendable. Now you can use the Crafter's Companion, I think they're called Harmony ink pads, because they're blendable. So if you've got any of those, again, you can use those for this technique. just make sure you've worked all this clear opaque ink pad right into the stencil, and I think that is actually pretty good, even though I say so myself. Yes, I'm quite pleased with that. I'm quite happy with that. As you can see, that hasn't stained the ink pad, so but I will keep a dedicated brush for that particular ink pad. So yeah, so that's our first one. If I hold that up to you, and it has got a slight sheen to it, a very slight sheen. So that's your first one, and as I say, that was done with a Versa Cloudy White. So put that to one side, and then we'll do our second one. Now, what I like to do in between is just give this a wipe down, and just be gentle and careful with your stencil because of these fiddly little bits. Just there we go. I think that is pretty good now. So I'm going to take my second piece, and then we are going to use Brilliant Moonlight White. Now, I think this is the one I used originally when I first discovered this technique, and this is the one I think I used. I can't remember. And I when I decided to do this technique, I thought, right, let's use the 3 different mediums and see how they all turn out. And they all turned out pretty good, which is why I'm showing you. So I'm not saying go out and buy all 3. I'm just thinking, you know, I'm giving you an informed choice of what products to use if you like this particular technique and the effect that it produces. So one might be cheaper than the other, pan pastel might be cheaper than the other, so you know, you've got several options, and you might have something similar in your stash. So so that's pretty cool. So I'm gonna just, again, I'm not gonna strap this or put this I'm not going to tape this stencil down, like I'm just going to go straight in with my brush and with my so just keep applying the ink all over your piece of card. And just work it into yeah, just keep working the ink in. Just go all over the stencil, over your piece of card, and keep moving it around, blending anything in. If you've got any like harsh areas where you put the brush first down, you just blend it all in, and then just lift it up to see how it is. And again, I think I'm pretty cool with that. There's a little bit around here. I think just a little bit in the middle here. Cool. So that's what you can do, is just keep lifting it and make sure you've done each area. So we can put that back. Now that was done with the Brilliant Moonlight White. So we can move our stencil out the way, and that is the Moonlight White. So again, you can still see the colour coming through, the original colour, the distress colour still coming through. So, but you've still got that subtle pattern on top with the stencil. So that is quite nice. So let's just compare the two. So if I just twist them around, I don't think there's a lot of difference. But I think that one's a bit, well, I think they both are pretty sharp, pretty good. So anyway, so that's the two we've done there. So we can do our third one. So I'm just going to clean this stencil off, because I won't be using this. I'm going to go into with something slightly different. And again, just be careful how you clean this stencil. And this is a Lavinia stamp stencil, and it is Flora. So, and it's a nice big, I don't know if it gives the size. No. Let me just grab a, so it is 21 centimeters by 15, so that sounds as though it might be, it's just it's slightly bigger than an A5. So so yeah, so that's basically the stencil. So yeah, so it's not A5, it's slightly bigger than A5, which is absolutely fine. Can live with that. So there, I think that's, and then we got our third one. This, so I obviously did these, I just put the distress inks down beforehand, and I was going through some of my collections, and I was thinking, oh, let's see what's around, see what I've got. And I came across these. These are the Fairy Glade collection from Crafter's Companion, and it's one of Sarah's signatures collection, and the Fairy Glade. And I thought, oh, I've got some stencils in there, can use that. So you got stamps as well, nice bunch of stamps, but it's the stencils. Let's get the stencils out, because this might be a bit interesting. So let's have a look, because I'm rather like, and the nice thing is as well, you've got the bits that have been cut out, which is quite nice. So these bits, like the dandelion head, the thistle head, so you've got those. So, and this came out a while ago, so I'm going to, I think, what have I got that, I've got that. Right, let's keep these two, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the chalk this time. Now this is pan pastel, and I'm using this one, and it's titanium white. So if you look, yeah, titanium white. So I'm just going to lift that up, and that's the one I always use. So I'm going to use, now as you can see, I'm not going to use the full head, the full stencil. I'm just going to use a little bit of it and just bring it in at an angle, and just dip my brush. If I bring that over, you can probably see better what I'm doing. We don't need those. Those can go out the way. Let's just get rid of those, get rid of that, and bring that in. Remove that for the time being. Now with this, I'm just going to, right, this is the titanium white. Let me just bring that down a little bit. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, so I'm just going to angle this, and you don't need masses. And if you've got any crumbs or anything, you can just work it back into. So yeah, just dip your into the pan pastel and just brush it into, and it's going to be very subtle. And then we can just do another one down the corner there. So yeah, so and then what I'm going to do from the top is use this one here, which is like the ivy leaves. Just again keep swirling it around. I'm going to leave that as it is, and then put that away, put this away. Don't need these anymore. Put them up over there, out the way. So we have done now 3 different mediums on our with our stencils, and I'll put these away so I don't lose them. Got all these different little bits here, so don't want to get them lost. And then the final thing is deciding what to put on our card, which I've already have. And I've done a few die cuts because, again, you don't want me just die cutting, because I'm sure you've all got machines and different machines to what I've got. And so we have got now 3 different ways of applying stencils to the background of our card. So there we go. And I'm going to choose one of these, I think, because I think this is clear. I think you can see it. So yeah, you can see it. It is there. It's very subtle. So by holding it up like that, you can actually see, especially the dandelion head down there. So yeah, and you've got those 2 as well. So there we go. That's how you do that. Now, there was a special name for doing this technique, and I can't remember. I can't think for the life of me what it was. They gave some glorious name for it, but yeah, as I say, I've done this technique before years ago, and I can't remember what it was. So yeah, let's do it now and get some die cuts. Now, I've done the die cuts again from the Enchanted, the Fairy Glade, Character's Companion. Those are 3 dies. You've got the words in that there, which is useful, and I've die cut that as well. So I've done a few options. Let me just reach over and get them all. So, and you've got this one here, which is there, and you get the die, the outside die, and the stamp. So that's what I've done there, and she will look, once you've colour her in. Now I've stamped her in Memento, so that means I can colour her with alcohol markers. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to explain and show you. So let me just hold that up to you so you can see. See, that would be quite nice once it's coloured in, and you can add a bit of a Winkestella, you know, the pearl stuff, just to give it a bit of a sheen, a shine, especially on her wings. It's just calling out for that. And then colour the flowers in, the leaves, and you've got a lovely little card. Or keep it black and white, so the other option. And I've die cut some of the fairies. Now these came from, again, the Fairy Glade, and you've got 3 dies in this, so obviously I've used these to die cut. And if I just put down in the corner with her like that, if I just hold this up, isn't that lovely? So you don't have to have everything coloured. You've got all the colour in the background. So by doing this on black, it really throws the fairy out. And again, if you want to, you can just add a few gems. You've got the sentiments, so you've got a magical die, so that can go. There's plenty of room up here to do that. So yeah, so let's get one completed, and let's see. Yeah, I'm going to stick with that one and maybe use... Now, this has dried a little bit, and you can see, I hope, it's got a little bit of a sheen to it. And that was with the cloud white. So, yeah, so I'm going to go for that. I'm going to put her down on there. So I'm going to get some tape runner. Just bear with me. Right, so I've got 2 tape runners, so I'm just going to stick her down onto there, and then on the wings I'm going to use the dotty one. Take the cap off first, that would help tremendously. And then we can put her down onto there just like that. She's looking up at something, so you definitely need so she's definitely looking up at something, so a nice sentiment mat or a flower or something just up there will be absolutely, because it will just match it all up, which I can do at a later date. So we can put that to one side. Now what we're going to do now is, let me just grab some let's do double-sided. We'll get rid of this because we don't need that. And I wrote on the back of these what I actually use, so so I don't forget. Actually, let's just go dive in with this. And I have got some black card. I did get some out. Yes, I did. Yes. Right, so in with a snail again around all 4 sides, and then a bit down the middle, and then we can, I'm going to put it up next to this corner, and then get my trusty ruler and my trusty knife. We trim this down. These are we are memory make another not perfect layers, but I think we are memory makers do a set similar to this, and it just, for the mattering layering, it just makes it so much easier. It's they're brilliant. I must admit, I wouldn't be without these. And then the final edge, and even if I've put it on slightly skewy, it will straighten it up. Cool, so that's that, and then we can just put this onto our card blank. Look at that. So, and again, the reason I've done this is to show you, because I'm sure many of you have got distress ink pads, and I'm sure we all need ideas and inspiration of what to do with them. And I'm sure, again, a lot of us have got stencils, and it's another way of combining the two to get different looks. Now, obviously, if you use browns and more masculine colours, you can use so there you go. That's one finished card. And again, using the black border throws the colours out again from the distress oxides. So thank you very much. I hope you've liked that, and thank you very much for your company, and I will see you again on the next video. Again, if you like what you see, please like and subscribe, and then you'll get notifications of all future videos that I do. And if you belong to any Facebook groups, Twitter, yeah, please copy and share my channel to as many people as you can. That'd be absolutely wonderful, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you very much for joining me. Bye.